Well, hello everyone and welcome again to Painless Universal with myself in Welsh. Today we're talking about diversity in fitness and why the message is so important to overcome the pain of getting others to join the fitness space. Have a culture, have a race, have a gender to really join that space. My guest will be telling us just how she's trying to achieve this. Dr. Monika Sharma will be telling us about her own journey, why she started this diversity in fitness, what it means to her to encourage others to join the fitness space, to help, especially as a medical doctor. She sees so many people who just a little shift in the way they eat or the way they exercise will change the way their treatment progresses and how this will help people. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Dr. Monika Sharma is a junior doctor in a GP training working in East London. She's passionate about promoting physical and mental well-being and a fitness fanatic. She strives to build a platform to help provide education, evidence-based resources, and disease preventions while sharing what she's learned throughout her own journey of exercising. I can't wait to meet her because this is such a crucial subject, especially with everything going on in today's world, where so many illnesses are not being diagnosed early because with the pandemic taking over, so people are having to wait longer for their treatment to be looked at. This would be a better way to solve your problem in such an easy way as well, to go through your exercise and your diet to help you so your problem gets looked at and be reduced. I myself, as you all know, have sickle cell anemia. And living with sickle cell anemia has caused a lot of challenges and pain for me, but I've always utilized the diet and exercise model to work for me. My guest, Dr. Monika, will be telling us about her own journey and why it means so much to her. Meet Dr. Monika.
Great.
Well, hello everyone and welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really about finding your niche area within the exercise routine. My guest today will be telling us about her own joy of finding herself in a successful NHS career, and she's doing this and helping others out there to find their joy. But most importantly, she talks about a subject that we all hear about. We hear so much about the diet, exercises. She'll be focusing about diversity in fitness. I will be asking her that question because I didn't realize there was something called diversity in fitness. When I think about fitness, I think about just one way of exercising, but she'll be telling us about that. Meet my wonderful guest, Monika, as she shares her story. Monika, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Anne. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm really, really well. You know, the weather is not great. I've said this a number of times today, but I'm not seeing any sunshine, but I'm well in myself, so I can't complain. And I'm glad to have you join us today on this conversation. Monika, before we always get started, we always ask all our guests, who are you?
What a question. Who am I? I like to think of myself as somebody who's got multiple kind of skills. I am a junior doctor at the moment, specializing in GP training. I have a passion for fitness, like you said, diversity in fitness, as well as food. So if you see my page, it's kind of everything all in one. And I think that's how I explain myself, really.
So Monika, to go into the medical side, what led you, if you go through your background, what led you on that path? Why did you think that this is something you wanted to do?
So I think I have an older sister, and growing up, she was always and is still my role model. She actually started her career in medicine, and I saw how she was able to kind of, learn about the body, learn about science, and then use that in order to help people. And always looking up to her, I thought that's exactly what I want to do. And actually, when I applied to it, my sister was telling me not to do it because she said, actually, it's a very stressful, tiring job. It demands a lot of your time, and you have to really be sure if that's what you want to do. And me being stubborn, I said, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then I did.
Have you looked back at what she said? Do you think it's been tiring, it's been challenging, especially with in light of this pandemic now, that then everyone is saying that you guys are overstretched? Have you found that it's very tiring as well as before as your sister said?
I think so. I think, slowly, once I finished university and actually started working, I thought, wow, she wasn't joking. And then I think the pandemic has just highlighted that. And, 2 years into the pandemic, we are still stretched and I am still feeling it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is that sense that we are all together and we're doing something that we will probably never see in our lives again, hopefully. So to be a part of something like this and actually truly be able to help people, I think is really rewarding.
Have you, I know you said you want to go into the general practice of medicine. Have you thought about what are some of the challenges that any young person that is thinking of doing the same thing in your path, wants to follow in your path of becoming a doctor? Have you thought of what are some of the words of encouragement that you would give to someone, especially when they hear the news now? A lot of people think, oh gosh, it's not something I want to go into, but right now, more than ever, we need more doctors, more nurses, more staff in the hospital. So what advice would you give to others out there to encourage them to come into this space and add value to the NHS and to the work of medical?
I think, talking to people who are already in the profession is something that is probably the most useful, regardless of what they do. As you said, nurses, doctors, everybody, pharmacists, all of the healthcare professionals are essentially the best people to talk to if that's what you want to do, because I think they'll be able to give you a real and true insight into what exactly the job entails. And I know, at the moment in the news and the media, there is a lot going around, but if you do truly want to do it, I wouldn't let that scare you. I think if it's something that you're truly passionate about, then medicine and the NHS as a whole would be a great profession to go into.
Oh, great words. Thank you, Monika, for saying that. So you focus on fitness. I mean, you do this, doctor, and you focus on fitness on your Instagram post. You talk a lot about it. Why does fitness mean so much to you? What happened there? What led you on this path to go this way?
So I think the kind of things that happened around me actually getting into fitness, I was never a kind of a fit, person. I was never somebody that was into sports at school or anything like that. And I was at a time in my life where, something bad happened and I wanted something that I could control and make me feel good about myself. And so I remember going to the first class actually, and it was in the middle of uni. And the feeling I got after, it was like a rush. I can't explain it. And I thought to myself, wow, if I can do this on a daily basis, this is it. I found it. And so ever since then, I think this is now going back 6 years ago now. And ever since then, I've tried to be as consistent as possible. And my love has just grown for fitness over the 6 years. And it started off, with me thinking that it would be just going to classes. Then I thought to myself, actually, I want to learn about it a bit more. And I started doing a personal training qualification just so I could educate myself. Completed that. Then I started shifting the focus into kind of weight training. And, the fitness industry, there's a lot to it. It's not just working out, but it's about looking at your nutrition, looking at your sleep. There's so many other factors. And I'm learning so many new things every day. But that initial rush, I think, is what has just put me through it. And I'm thinking to myself, if I could do that every day, then I'm sold.
Do you think more and more people need to get on that fitness banner to help in the healthcare, to help you in your general health? And how do you encourage more and more people to do such?
I think you're absolutely right. And I think coming from a world of, having a privilege working in medicine, I see a lot of people who have a sedentary lifestyle, and actually some of the diseases they present with could be prevented had they, modify their diet and their exercise routine. And I think it is so important to spread the message that actually, if you do have a well-balanced, approach to your life, and you are active, a certain amount of times a week, and you prioritize well-balanced meals, then you could prevent some of the diseases and the complications that they come with. And I think that's when it clicked, is that there's if you look at a Venn diagram, that's in the middle. And if people find and unlock that key, then they could be preventing themselves from diseases in the future.
No, that's really true. And it's something about how we educate them so people understand the benefits of it's not always just the traditional medicine, but this could also help you in a supplement to the traditional medicine you take, but this could also help ease it and make it a lot faster. I myself, I have a chronic illness, and I always emphasize the benefits of exercise. Absolutely. And how much it adds value. So what did you start doing with exercise? Okay, for someone who doesn't like exercise, right? What would you say the best way to start is?
I would say start now. A lot of people, I think, oh, I'll start at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month or even the beginning of a new year. But what I would say is start now, and start by doing something that you think you will enjoy and you know that you will be consistent with. Because if you find something that you enjoy, whether that's going for a brisk walk, meeting up with your friends and going for a walk, trying to go for a jog, whatever you fancy, if you enjoy it, then you will show up for yourself every day.
Yeah, that's true. And I you know what, I love that bit, start now, because a lot of times we always think, oh, we're coming to the end of the year, we're starting a new year, we're in the new year, we start now. And, you know, then when do you ever start? When do you always keep prolonging it? Yeah, so it's very true. You're passionate about health promotion and prevention. How can we all achieve health prevention, in your opinion? Because this is something you're so passionate about and really advocating for.
I think, you know, it's never going to be a one size fits all. So things that I do, things that I eat may not necessarily be appropriate for other people, but I think it's about looking at what you can do for yourself, because at the end of the day, you are investing in yourself by, you know, eating well, exercising, being physically active. And I think that's the best thing that you can do. You have to show up for yourself. And if you think, okay, I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to prioritize what I'm doing with my life, then not only will the benefits be physical, but they will also be mental. So you'll have mental and physical health benefits. And I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's always true. The focus on increasing diversity in fitness is a big focus of yours, is increasing diversity. I saw that and I wasn't quite sure what diversity in fitness meant. Monika, could you please help share with us what is diversity in fitness and how can we all work towards increasing ours?
So I think the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because when I started going to exercise classes or going to these kind of wellness events, I didn't necessarily see anybody that looked like me. I didn't see, you know, people that I could relate to. And I think in my culture, you know, working out and as much as I do and eating the certain things that I do eat isn't necessarily seen as normal. And so what I wanted to provide was a platform for people who could relate to me, who look like me, or who have a busy lifestyle like me. And I wanted to provide a platform to show them that you can do it. Being a young brown female, having a busy lifestyle, yes, you know, there may be some days where I might not be able to fit it in, but the majority of the time I can do it. And if I can do it, then you can do it. And I wanted to be that person that people could relate to. So when I say diversity in fitness, I mean that, you know, from a gender point of view, from a racial point of view, from a cultural point of view, what I want to try and promote is that if I can do it, then hopefully people who can relate to me can realize that they can too.
I'm glad you explained that, because a lot of people would think, is it the diversity in different kinds of fitness things we could do? But actually, it's actually encouraging more people that look like you to say to them, if I can do it, you don't need to think that you can't do it because we're both doing the same jobs or something, or you're too busy, but there's ways to fit this in. And how have you found people responding since you started this diversity in fitness?
So the sole reason why I started my Instagram page was just to help one person. And I think, you know, anyone, just even if it was one person, I would have been like, okay, that's fine, my job is done. And there are people who message me directly and they say, oh, you know, I saw your page and I saw that you went for a run this morning and it inspired me to go for a run. And I feel like that feeling is probably one of the best feelings, because knowing that it's just that one person that you've encouraged to either go for a walk, go for a run, go to a gym class, whatever form of physical activity, it makes me so happy. And I think having that feedback is probably the most valuable feedback.
I'll have to, before I let you go, Monika, I have to ask you, when you look back at the way your life has shaped, and you know, you're keeping fit, you're making this beautiful food, you're a medical doctor, you're really working so hard. What would be your hope to other young girls who are looking at you saying, oh, I can't be like her, that she has all the time in the world? How is she balancing that? What would be your hope to help them find their own confidence that they could do exactly what you're doing? They just need to plan it better.
I would say that it is a learning process. Don't be harsh on yourself, because where I was and where I started, I have learned so much. And I've come to a point now where I feel like at this point and stage of my life, I am truly the happiest that I've been. I found that balance that works for me. And I find that, yes, if I can do it, then you all can. If you can look at and take the time to invest in your health, I think it's probably one of the best things that you can do.
From your Instagram post, which is one of your favorite meals that you recommend we should all try?
Oh, any of the porridge recipes. I'm a fan of oats. I love oats. You know, I have no shame about it. I will shout it from the rooftops. But porridge for me is just one of those things that I can have on a hot or a cold day. It hits the spot. So any of the porridge recipes, I would definitely try one of those.
Oh, wow. Monika, I'm so glad you took this time out to speak to me. I know how busy you guys, your schedule is. So every time I get one of you to speak to me, have a conversation and inspire others to join your field, it makes me happy. So thank you so much for this time. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Anne. It's been lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.